This is a presentation on cryptography by T. Thirunamakkani, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, St. Joseph's College for Women, Tirupur. In this presentation, we discuss about the objectives of cryptography and types of cryptography. The objectives of cryptography. The main objectives of cryptography is providing confidentiality. Cryptography is also used to provide solution for other problems such as data integrity, authentication, and non-repudiation. Data integrity. The receiver of the message should be able to check whether the message was modified during transmission, either accidentally or deliberately. No one should be able to substitute a false message for the original message or for part of it. Authentication. The receiver of the message should be able to verify its origin. No one should be able to send a message to Bob and pretend to be Alice. That is data origin authentication. When initializing a communication, Alice and Bob should be able to identify each other. That is entity authentication. The another objective is non-repudiation. The sender should not be able to later deny that she sends a message. Types of cryptography. There are three types of cryptography. Symmetric key cryptography, hash function, and asymmetric key cryptography or public key cryptography. Symmetric key cryptography. It is an encryption system where the sender and receiver of message uses a single common key to encrypt and decrypt message. Symmetric key systems are faster and simpler. The sender and receiver have to exchange key in a secure manner. The most popularly used symmetric key crypto systems is data encryption system, that is DES. The recipient possesses the key so that the algorithm reverses its action, that is, the message is returned to its original and understandable form. The secret key used by the sender and receiver could be a specific password, code, or random strings of letter or number that have been generated by a secure random number generator, RNG. The two types of symmetric key encryptions are block algorithm and stream algorithm. Block algorithm. In block algorithm, the main message is split into n blocks P1, P2, etc. Pn. Using the key K, every blocks are encrypted and obtain n blocks of ciphertext C1, C2, etc. Cn. These n blocks of ciphertext are decrypted using key into n blocks of original plaintext and combining these n blocks to obtain the entire original plaintext. Stream cipher. Using key stream generator, streams of keys were generated. A plain text is encrypted using this key stream and obtain the streams of ciphertext. This streams of ciphertext is sent to Bob. Bob decrypts the streams of ciphertext into plain text using key stream and obtain the main message which is sent by the sender. This process is known as the stream algorithm. Some examples of symmetric key encryption algorithm are AES, DES, IDEA, Blowfish, RC5 and RC6 are block ciphers. RC4 is stream cipher. Hash function. There is no usage of any key in this algorithm. A hash value with fixed length is calculated as per the plaintext, which make it impossible for contents of plaintext to be recovered. Many operating system uses hash function to encrypt password. Using hash function, plaintext is converted into hashed text. Asymmetric key cryptography or public key cryptography is another type of cryptography. Under this system, a pair of keys is used to encrypt and decrypt information. A public key of the receiver is used for encryption and a private key of the receiver is used for decryption. Public key and private key are different. Even the public key is known by everyone, the intended receiver can only decode it because he only knows the private key. Ciphertext C is obtained in encryption process by encrypting the main message M using the public key of the receiver. The receiver then decrypts the ciphertext using receiver's private key and obtains the original main message M. This process of using different key for encryption and decryption is known as asymmetric key cryptography or public key cryptography. Some examples of asymmetric key cryptography or public key cryptography are Diffie-Hellman Key Exchange Protocol DSS, Elgamal Encryption Algorithm, Elliptic Curve Algorithm, various password authenticated key agreement techniques, RSA encryption algorithm, Kramer-Shop algorithm, YAK authenticated key agreement protocols. In public key cryptography, the sender encrypts the plain text using the receiver public key and obtains the ciphertext C, and the ciphertext is sent to the receiver. The receiver decrypts the ciphertext into the original main message using the receiver private key and obtains the original main message sent by the sender. This process is known as asymmetric key cryptography or public key cryptography. Thank you. In this presentation, we discussed about the objectives of cryptography and the various types of cryptography.